Life for one OCC student doesn't stop because of his disabilities. Find out how he overcomes everyday challenges in his everyday life.
Now, from the EMC studio at Onondaga Community College, this is an ON-TV update.
Good morning and welcome to ON-TV Update. Today is Friday, March 11th, and I'm Sean Clary.
And I'm Ian Brothers. College campuses all over America are filled with diverse students.
Some more diverse than others. ON-TV Update's Anthony Barney takes a look at someone who's 1 out of 100,000.
Normal, a word many of us don't typically think about in our everyday life. In fact, it's only when presented with something unnormal that we do. But for Kobe Van Voorhis, he's described his normal as his everyday life.
From someone else's point of view, I'm not normal. But in my mind, I'm normal. I mean, to me, this is normal for me. It's not different. I'm just living my life.
You're more likely to be struck by lightning than to meet another person like Kobe. That's because his condition affects 1 in 100,000 bursts. And it's known as TAR, thrombocytopenia with absent radius.
There's two types of TAR. It's short arm and long arm. And long arm is like it would go, the hand it cuts off like where the elbow would be on any other person. And short arm, they call mine short arm, but I don't know why, because I got no arms. There's no arms at all.
Even getting ready for this interview is different for Kobe.
Things that are a day-to-day task, such as getting dressed or putting on pants, are completely different for Kobe. You ready? Let's do it.
Spending the last 24 hours with Kobe and watching him overcome challenges and not be boxed in by his limitations is truly inspiring, showing us that if you just step outside the box and give it a shot, anything is possible. I'm Anthony Barney in the Residence Hall's ON-TV Update.
To learn more about Kobe's condition, look for his upcoming documentary, Voice of the Valley, directed by Kenny McBain at your local film festival, which details his love for life and sports.
Since 2006, when a vaccine for the human papillomavirus was put on the market, there has been a drop in the number of cases for. Our own ON-TV Update reporter, Ashley Ratter, talked with two people affected by the HPV vaccine.
The CDC released a report this year saying that the number of human papillomavirus cases has dropped in recent years, all because of the HPV vaccine. Zach Johnson, a freshman at OCC, received his HPV vaccine in his early teens.
Around 13, 14, I remember going in and I think was just going in for a normal checkup thing, and it's like, oh no, you're getting a shot. And me going, oh, okay. And realizing that day it wasn't gonna get better, but it wasn't gonna be worse than it was.
Karen Hilsdorf, a nurse and mother of 3, has personally seen the effects that the human papillomavirus have caused on the young.
I've seen many, many cases of young girls with losing like multiple sections of their cervix from this virus.
Within the age range of 14 to 19-year-olds, the number of cases of HPV have decreased from 11.5% to 4.3% in recent years, and that is an almost 7% difference.
It is smart to have your kids vaccinated at a young age, no matter what anyone says. But it also is smart to have the research on what the vaccination is, too.
Even with the small risks like headaches, the safest way may just be to get your children vaccinated. Reporting from Whitney, from ON-TV Update, I'm Ashley Ratter.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recommends that both men and women get the HPV vaccine between the ages of 14 and 26.
Apple has stepped up their fight with the FBI. Last week, Apple refused to comply with a court order to assist the FBI with creating a backdoor to gain access to the iPhone used by the shooter in San Bernardino, who perpetrated a mass shooting back in December. Many companies, Google, Microsoft, and Facebook included, have praised Apple, saying the United States government is overstepping basic privacy laws. The Syracuse VA Medical Center offers services for veterans with PTSD. Some of the services offer counseling for veterans coping with the symptoms and offer advice for family and friends on how to treat the issue. ON-TV Update's James Kern has more details.
Once called shell shock or battle fatigue, is now more commonly known as PTSD. The Syracuse VA is where veterans come for treatment and counseling for their symptoms. PTSD can affect veterans in many ways. Some include isolation, depression, and anxiety.
A lot of times veterans will feel the isolation from PTSD symptoms, and that'll make them very reluctant to enter into the community, engage in social activities.
There are many noticeable signs a veteran's family should be aware of indicating PTSD, and if there are symptoms present, the veteran should seek medical attention.
One of the big things that we notice when someone comes in for an intake or has some concerns about PTSD is the symptoms of flashbacks, nightmares, and the hypervigilance.
PTSD can lead to some extreme behaviors like excessive alcohol use, bursts of anger, or may become violent in some cases. This behavior not only affects the veteran, but it affects family members and friends.
Syracuse VA and their associated medical clinics throughout Syracuse treat more than 47,000 veterans a year.
Unfortunately, PTSD is one of those invisible wounds that cannot be healed. The best way for a veteran to cope is having family and friends to give moral support and guidance. There are counselors on hand who can give advice and tips on coping strategies.
I don't think that there will ever be a cure for PTSD. The exposure that veterans experience during times of combat or even stateside, the trauma is it's nothing that can be treated with a pill.
In case of an emergency, the VA does have a crisis line that's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, where veterans can call for help at any time. From Syracuse VA Medical Center, I am James Kern on TV Update.
All the best to these veterans who are returning home with PTSD. They do so much for us and hopefully get the medical care they need and support from families and friends to help their transition back into the community.
Amtrak is looking into new ways to improve railway safety across New York. A few weeks ago, a man was hit by a train in Liverpool. One of the options Amtrak is exploring is a sonic radar able to detect objects on the tracks in front of the train. If anything is there, the train will begin to slow to a stop. These advances are aimed at preventing similar accidents from occurring again.
Next, Chad Wright will be in with a look at your forecast.
Later, we'll take a look at the future of Interstate 81 through Syracuse. Stay tuned and learn more.
I love OCC, and I've really been impressed with all of my students here. I teach natural hazards and disasters. I try to bring in real-world events to make what you learn in the classroom applicable to what you might read in the newspaper or see on the news or hear in the media. And then also trying to make it interesting, because sometimes science can be a little boring to folks. So I try to make it exciting, and so perhaps you don't even realize you're learning science.
Felton Art Gallery at Onondaga Community College. Experience art at its most engaging. The gallery features multiple genres of art, including painting, photography, and sculpture.
The teachers here are excellent. I've had some really informative teachers. The lessons are pretty clear, and the teachers are very social. It's a very social experience. I liked the facility a lot. I liked the studios, so I decided to come here. I've learned so much. I've learned an indefinite amount of material about architecture, and I only have more to learn. I would definitely say that this school is excellent for building a portfolio to move on in this major.
Are you eager for knowledge outside the classroom? Then visit Coulter Library. If we don't have the book you're looking for, we can get it on loan. We also have a wide selection of movies and music to enjoy on your study break. And our quiet study rooms allow you to work alone or with classmates in a private environment. We're extending hours during finals week until 11 p.m. so you can catch up on your work. Visit our website for more information. Take advantage of Coulter Library today. You'll never fail in your journey to succeed.
Are you a veteran looking to continue your education? Then check out the Veterans Affairs Office at Coulter Library. We offer a variety of services, such as work study, mentoring, assistance with financial aid, vocational rehabilitation, and much more. The staff at the Office of Veterans Affairs are all veterans who continue to serve the OCC community. Visit room C103 or visit sunyocc.edu for more information.
Welcome back. I'm Sean Clary.
And I'm Ian Brothers. Join us in the studio is Chad Wright with our forecast for the next week. How's the weather looking, Chad?
It's been an unseasonably warm week so far, but today's going to be a little colder than it has been, with highs of 45 and lows of 31. There's a light drizzle in the morning, but it should clear up in the afternoon. The rest of the week will be warmer, with highs into the high and mid-50s. However, you should remember to grab your umbrellas, since there's a high chance of rain from Sunday night through Tuesday. Weather affects everything, including the setup for the upcoming St. Patrick's Day Parade and those who attend. I spoke to both a person who plans the parade and someone who attends. The Syracuse St. Patrick's Day Parade has been around for 34 years now. The participants, volunteers, and onlookers have seen their share of bad weather. Avid parade goer Sam Shikali remembers one example in particular.
It was about 10 above zero, snowing out, and freezing rain.
According to longtime volunteer Vince Christian, weather may affect the setup for the parade, but it does not stop it.
We often have to do work with the city to get snow removal along the route in the weeks leading up to the parade. The parade has never been canceled since it began 34 years ago. Absolutely nothing stops the parade. The parade must go on.
The parade and the events leading up to it support the Hunger Project. The Hunger Project is a charitable organization that donates to the food bank and the Interreligious Food Consortium. Just moments ago, this entire ice rink was filled to the brim with people. It was so full and so loud that I couldn't even get through. And that's just for the Shamrock Run, not even the St. Patrick's Day Parade. Sam Shikali described the parade as a community reunion, an event that everyone, regardless of age, race, or creed, can enjoy together.
It's part of city living, and we enjoy it.
According to Sam, the parade is something you need to experience in person. Both Vince and Sam would like everyone to either go to the parade tomorrow at noon on South Salina Street, downtown Syracuse, or watch it live on TV. Back to you, Sean.
With spring finally upon us, the Onondaga Lake Park Rangers are planning on putting up more trail cameras along the creek walk. These cameras will be running 24/7 and spaced 25 feet apart. Having a feed running directly to the Rangers' office, every part of the trail will be under their watch. The cameras are the start of an effort to cut down criminal activity around the lake and to make the area safer for everyone. When we come back, we'll take a look at the looming presidential election.
Also, on TV Updates, Heath Woodrose visits a youth basketball league in East Syracuse that emphasizes that basketball is supposed to be fun.
I actually was a graduate of the Mechanical Technology Associate's degree program here myself. Onondaga, without a doubt, puts the student first. We want our students to be successful. We want them to come back to us and say, yeah, what we learned in this program was great. What we're doing, we have a skill set now that I can make a good living with. www.sunyocc.edu for more information.
What I love most about OCC is the ease of access. It's so close to home, and it's just a beautiful campus, and the social community is so nice. I can really find myself inside of it. The business area that they just built is really nice as well. I think that's going to be good for helping out business students with their goals and tasks and things. I would recommend OCC to somebody. I think it's a really nice place to get an education. I think it's a really nice school to be able to settle down in and build a future at.
I would definitely say OCC has prepared me for moving on my career path. My major is fire protection technologies. I chose that due to the fact of my career path is I want to go become a career firefighter later on in life. My dad actually found this program out here from one of his buddies that's a state fire instructor out in this area. Said this was one of the best programs out here. It's real nice knowing that I have other people out there who share the same interests as me.
I I love OCC, and I've really been impressed with all of my students here. I teach natural hazards and disasters. I try to bring in real-world events to make what you learn in the classroom applicable to what you might read in the newspaper or see on the news or hear in the media. And then also trying to make it interesting, because sometimes science can be a little boring to folks. So I try to make it exciting, and so perhaps you don't even realize you're learning science.
So it's hat and gloves weather today? Wasn't it 75 and sunny yesterday? Fall needs to make up its mind. It's not all bad though. The leaves turn a beautiful red, and in come my favorite flavors. That's why I always save time in my morning for Starbucks. I can grab a pumpkin spice latte, and it can be served hot or cold to suit whatever type of autumn day I'm having.
OCC proudly serves Starbucks. Come visit us outside the Gordon Cafeteria.
Welcome back to On TV Update. I'm Heath Woodruff with sports. I love this time of year. Basketball tournament season is underway. In high school hoops, scheduled to tip off at 11:45 this morning, the Bishop Grimes boys team and the West Hill girls team will each take on Marlboro Central in their respective Class B state title semifinal games. Tonight, the Janesville DeWitt girls will play against Rochester's Our Lady of Mercy in the Class A semifinal game at 8 o'clock. The SU men are waiting to find out if they'll make it to the NCAA tournament or if they're NIT bound after losing to Pitt in the ACC tournament. With high school basketball playoffs wrapping up this weekend and March Madness just getting started, I decided to look in on a team of players that are a bit younger.
The ESM Spartans 4th grade boys travel basketball team is part of the East Syracuse Manoa Youth Sports Organization. East Syracuse physical education teacher Steve Graham also volunteers his time each week coaching for ESM Youth Sports.
Because I love it. I love sports. I always love playing sports. I love to teach kids sports, and I just love the competitiveness and the fun of it also. It's not all about the winning all the time. There's a balance, but I just love to see the kids excel.
So one thing I've learned is that these guys use 28.5-inch balls because they're easier for them to handle than the 29.5-inch balls that the NBA, college, and high school players use. And I'll blame that for the reason I missed the shot.
Dan Hager got his son involved in youth sports so he would stay active, but he could also be with friends and be part of a team.
Active and being fun is always first and foremost. Winning is fun, so there's nothing wrong with winning. But you know, if it comes down to one or the other, you know, ultimately you're out there to have fun and be active.
I feel that sports do a lot of good things for kids, and I feel that they all need an opportunity to have a place to play and do it, because the streets are becoming more dangerous, and I feel that there needs to be more opportunities for kids to go somewhere and play and have fun.
This team of 4th grade boys recently won a tournament in Watertown, and ESM hosted a tournament last weekend in which the Spartans finished second out of 7 4th grade teams. Pole Position Raceway in Destiny, USA is a great way for race fans to get behind the wheel. On March 15th, Pole Position brings back their 5-week live racing event, and our own Stephen Russell went out to see what the hype was all about.
Back in August of last year, Pole Position Raceway ran a 5-week live event where customers can race against each other to compete in a championship, and is being brought back to find a new champion on March 15th.
People can come in and race. They have to do one race between the hours, and at the end of each hour we do have a main event where we take the top racers, and the winners of the main events get points and prizes.
Last year in October, the first event was stretched out as 8 weeks, but this March it was decided to shorten the races out by 5 weeks to make it more flexible for people to show up. The second series was planned for months until it was decided that the series should start before spring break, when students and families go out on vacation.
At the end of this series, the 5-week series we are doing now in our session 2, the winner actually gets a $500 cash purse, second gets $250, and third place gets $100.
Though it does get very loud here with people racing around the track, it's the thrill of being behind the wheel that gets people coming back.
In the first 4 weeks of the event, people can come in to race between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. until the 5th week, where the managers of the store pick the best racer from the past 4 weeks. Then the racer with the most points has a chance to compete in a championship race against the racers with the most points from the other stores in Buffalo and Rochester. From Destiny USA in Syracuse, I'm Stephen Russell on TV Update.
What it takes to enter the races is to fill out a registration form and show up between 6 and 9 p.m. every Wednesday for 4 weeks until a winner is announced. So guys, tomorrow, the OCC men's and women's lacrosse teams are in action. On Sunday, the women's softball team is in action in Myrtle Beach. A good way to spend spring break. And the men's tennis team is in Illinois. Get the results and get the results from all of these and more at ONTVupdateS2016E05R.
Well, Heath, I used to play lacrosse in high school, so really looking forward to seeing my friends that I used to play in high school with on the team. Some of them are still here, so can't wait to see how well they do this season.
Yeah, on that note of playing lacrosse, I used to be a midi on my team in high school, and that's tough. It can really be a killer on your legs and everything, so I hope they're all ready.
Well, hey, that's interesting, and I wish all these teams, all our OCC teams, the best of luck. And that's it for sports.
Here at OCC, there are a multitude of different clubs that you can join. That being said, a brand new club has been made. The club goes by the name Demon Club. Here at OCC, you have many clubs to choose from. Anime, geology, or even psychology. Whatever you are into, you can find a club for it. And if you don't, then you can always make one, just like the newest club, Demon.
Demon Club is it's a brand new club that actually just started here at OCC back in the fall semester of 2015.
This club is all about role play and cooperation.
Put it in a nutshell, it's a very free-form role-playing game. It's an immersive experience where people get to interact with each other in new and unique ways that they might not have thought about or perhaps been interested in before this club came around.
It's more than just a game of tag. According to Sam Brazil, Demon is an immersive experience with a thrilling story.
It's not about pen and paper or rolling dice. It's not about sitting in front of a TV playing a video game. It's about those person-to-person interactions.
The club has played their game in the SRC Arena late at night to a roaring success. And that isn't the only place they can play.
Games can take place literally anywhere. Anywhere that you have people who are obviously familiar with the game going on.
This versatility in a game and a club leaves plenty of possibilities for future games. If you're interested in joining Demon Club, they meet every Monday at 11 in Whitney, room 116. Coming up at 11:25 on TV Updates, Ian Brothers asks questions about the future of I-81 in Syracuse. Stay tuned.
This is Darren Peichel, and I'm the Vice President of Entertainment and Programming in the Office of Student Leadership and Engagement. We plan events on campus, part of the Quad F plan in the fall and in the spring. I just really love being involved. You really need to broaden your horizons. It makes time fly. I think being involved really makes your college experience better. At OCC is it's a great stepping stone. The connections I've made here are everlasting.
I love OCC, and I've really been impressed with all of my students here. I teach natural hazards and disasters. I try to bring in real-world events to make what you learn in the classroom applicable to what you might read in the newspaper or see on the news or hear in the media. And then also trying to make it interesting, because sometimes science can be a little boring to folks. So I try to make it exciting, and so perhaps you don't even realize you're learning science.
The teachers here are excellent. I've had some really informative teachers. The lessons are pretty clear, and the teachers are very social. It's a very social experience. I liked the facility a lot. I liked the studios, so I decided to come here. I've learned so much. I've learned an indefinite amount of material about architecture, and I only have more to learn. I would definitely say that this school is excellent for building a portfolio to move on in this major.
Are you eager for knowledge outside the classroom? Then visit Coulter Library. If we don't have the book you're looking for, we can get it on loan. We also have a wide selection of movies and music to enjoy on your study break. And our quiet study rooms allow you to work alone or with classmates in a private environment. We're extending hours during finals week until 11 p.m. so you can catch up on your work. Visit our website for more information. Take advantage of Coulter Library today. You'll never fail in your journey to succeed.
I actually was a graduate of the Mechanical Technology Associate's degree program here myself. Onondaga, without a doubt, puts the student first. We want our students to be successful. We want them to come back to us and say, yeah, what we learned in this program was great. What we're doing, we have a skill set now that I can make a good living with. www.sunyocc.edu for more information.
Welcome back to On TV Update. As the primary season runs its course, the field of candidates has narrowed. On the Republican side, the field started with 17 hopefuls, but that has narrowed to just 4.
With Trump holding on to his position as the frontrunner, Senator Ted Cruz follows close behind with Senator Rubio and Governor Kasich. On the Democratic side, Senator Bernie Sanders is in a tight race with Secretary Clinton, with his biggest upset happening Tuesday night with a big win in Michigan, and Clinton's lead narrowing week by week.
Is your commute into Syracuse busy? Well, it could get even busier. Interstate 81 has been a staple of downtown Syracuse since it was built.
But it's nearing the end of its useful life. With On TV Update, spoke with DOT about possible changes for the future.
Interstate 81, a historic road for Syracuse, New York. I-81 was built in the 50s and 60s and is now nearly 50 years old. This means that the elevated part of I-81 that runs through Syracuse is nearing an end and is needing constant repair and upkeep. Gene Salento is the Public Information Officer for the DOT here in Syracuse and has shed some light on this immense project.
The entire project looks at 81 primarily, the elevated portion of 81, and it requires a lot of maintenance to keep it open, to keep it working. And whenever we do a project of this scale, you're talking about an elevated 1.5 mile highway, we start looking at a bunch of different alternatives to see if replacing it would be the best option, or if maybe there are other options that might enhance the community.
Behind me is Interstate 81. As you can see, it's a very essential part to Syracuse. Without it being under construction, things can get very hectic.
Well, I don't know how to get to the mall unless I'm on 81, so that's going to be a big change. I have to take 690, probably get off right before 81, and then find an alternate route.
Allison Bear is a local Syracuse University student that has to commute to work almost every day to Destiny using the highway.
I feel like if anywhere you're going in that city, if you're on a highway, it comes together at one point, so if that is slowed down there, then, I mean, just a couple weeks ago there was an accident right over by near the intersection, and I was going to work, and it was backed up for like three exits along every direction.
Traffic will continue to be an issue for Syracuse commuters, but hopefully a new I-81 will fix that. Even with all the talk of rebuilding I-81, Gene Salento says that the plans might not go through for another few years.
Chad Wright is back with us with the last look at the weekend's forecast. How's it looking, Chad?
Well, this weekend will be rather nice, just in time for the St. Patrick's Day parade. Saturday will be partly sunny with highs of 60. Sunday will also be, Sunday will be partly sunny with highs of 57. However, there will be a high chance of rain Sunday night.
Well, guys, I don't know about you, but being me, I love the cold. I don't like the freezing cold, but I think it's getting a little too hot, a little too quick. Not ready for that 70, 80 degree weather yet.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, we've got spring break coming up. Plenty of time to go outside, have a bonfire if you ask me, but I don't know. What about you, Heath?
Well, I plan the last half of next week, I'll be watching a lot of basketball, I'm sure.
Oh, we all hope. We're all rooting for SU.
Yeah.
What about you, Chad?
I'm watching the parade.
Going
Hey,
to
that
the
takes
parade?
care of tomorrow.
Yeah, that's only one day out of spring break.
Yard work mostly.
That was awesome.
Are you going to be
Thanks,
paid?
Chad, for all of us here at On TV Update, I'm Sean Clary.
And I'm Ian Brothers. Don't forget to join us on March 25th after spring break for the next edition of On TV Update. Have a good day, everyone.